Hello. I don't really know why I'm recording this right now, but I thought about it and yeah, it seems appropriate enough, right? I don't know what this video will devolve into after I've spoken for a while. I want to start off talking about a pretty basic point. My problem with ArcSys, aka Arc System Works, people behind, for example, Guilty Gear and other pretty famous franchises. So, flashback to last night. I remember that on the Guilty Gear Reddit, I had seen a post about Ramlethall's cloak being sold as a official merch item, and I thought, hey, I kind of want to check that out, and so I did, and I saw that the cloak cost $200, which is kind of expensive, but it's still like a high quality cloak with all the details that you would expect from the actual license holder, and it's obviously also officially licensed. So it was definitely pretty cool, and I think $200 is like fine for it. Would I pay $200 for it? No. Am I gonna buy it? Also no, I just wanted to check it out. But I went to check out the other merch, and most of the stuff had kind of absurd prices. Like, they sell these like collector cards where if you want one that actually has a number, which who the fuck wouldn't want one that's numbered, that is like significantly cooler and gives them some actual collector reason, right? They cost like $20 for a plastic card. I thought originally that it was an aluminium card. That would have been a fine price. But it's plastic. It's literally a plastic card. And so like the only reason why these cards get to cost $20 is because they're licensed by ArcSys. And I don't think that's fair, because I don't think that's like fair to the player base. Because let's say, right, you really like Bridget. Just use this as an example. You love playing Bridget, and you really like Guilty Gear Strive as a game. And you want to support ArcSys a little extra, whilst also, getting yourself something. And so, you decide to get the Bridget collector's card. Well then, you just spend $20 on a piece of plastic just because it's officially licensed. And like, does it support the game? A bit, probably. It definitely supports the company. But like, how much of that $20 is gonna go back into Guilty Gear at the end of the day? It'll probably be like, maybe fucking $2 if we're lucky goes back into the development of Guilty Gear. But like, the actual rest of it is just profit for ArcSys. Like, merch supports the company, and it definitely gives a bit to like the development teams, but it's mostly just for profit. Like most merchandise for most games exists for profit reasons. But to a point that I give a couple more shits about was the May hoodie. So they're currently on the ArcSys store selling May color 10 hoodie, which they have already sold a color 1 hoodie, but it's sold out, and if I understand their shop correctly, they make a limited stock of an item and they sell it until it sells out, and then they don't make that thing again, or maybe they sell it at conventions or something. I'm not completely sure, but that's what it seems like. But they decided to actually make a color 10 hoodie, and I think that was pretty cool. I think May is a very cool character. I think the hoodie looks pretty cool, and the hoodie cost $100, which that's a very fair price. Like $100 for a perfectly good oversized hoodie. Like, you'll find other hoodies that are like of good quality that are $100, but like $100 for a hoodie, that's not absurd in any way. And I would maybe get the hoodie if it wasn't for one very weird thing. When you ship to Europe or places outside of the US, Canada, and Mexico, you can only have first class shipping. The problem with first class shipping, right, it's that it's much, much more expensive. Like, unnecessarily more expensive. Like, I live in Sweden. If I want to buy something from the US and ship it here, the shipping will probably run me like, I don't know, $30 with just like normal postal shipping. Like, yeah, it will take a few weeks to get here, but that's really it. Like, no shit, it's gonna take a few weeks to get here. But it's like gonna run me maybe $30, which that's not horrendous. Like, yeah, I get why shipping costs money, of course. And yeah, I'd have to pay a bit of tax on top of that and some other fun shit, But really, it's not too bad. But they only offer first class shipping or some other even higher class shipping. I don't know exactly what it was. But the two shipping options that I would have cost me either $60 or $100 for a $100 hoodie. Hoodies don't really like weigh that much. If I got another company's hoodie shipped from the US, I don't know, I probably get the shipping to like $20. I bought a leather jacket from where was it? I can't exactly remember right now, but it was from Asia, which getting from anywhere in Asia to Sweden will take you a while. The shipping was $16, but if I wanted to ship that one hoodie from the US, it's gonna run me. Why the fuck is there a Christmas tree there, bro? What the fuck? This is the weirdest shit I've seen all day. But if I want to ship that one hoodie from the US, it's gonna run me $60. Like, that's just kind of absurdly high. So I guess what I'm saying here is ArcSys should offer just normal shipping, normal postal service shipping to areas outside of the US, Canada, and Mexico. Because with that kind of shipping, I'm not gonna buy just a simple item. Like, for me to justify $60 shipping, I would personally say that I would have to that the actual order would probably have to be at least $200. Which, like, that's a big ass order. Anything at $200 for a high school guy, it's a lot. And then with that shipping, that would be $260. It's like, oh, what if I go a bit above our budget? Like, let's say I got one of the keycap sets, like the May keycap set, or the Zelda 1 keycap set. That's, with shipping, like $300+. That's insane. Like, it genuinely makes no sense to me how the shipping is only first class. Like, how hard is it to just offer normal shipping? Another thing I kind of want to touch on is the DLC characters. Personally, I'm fine with DLC characters. It's just that, like, they're a bit expensive, aren't they? I don't remember the exact price right now. Something like $5 each or something like that. I might even be lowballing that. And then it's like, okay, I forgot the actual price, but let's say the actual price was $5, which it might be that on like sales or something. Let's say the price is $5. The game costs what, 40? So if you buy just the base game, you keep just the base characters. It'd be the same as buying 8 DLCs. You get how many characters in the base game? Like, there's a bunch of characters in the base game. Like, a seriously high amount. But then you want to buy one DLC character and it's gonna run you another $5? Like, is that not a little bit weird? Is it fine that they have DLC characters? Of course, that's how they keep revenue going. Like, it's the same way that other live service games have, like, battle passes. It's to keep people interested in the game and actively giving revenue to the game. If Apex Legends stopped having their battle passes, the game would just die because EA wouldn't have funding. So obviously they have to get funding in some way. I just think that the way that DLC characters are handled right now is a bit weird, and to just implement a few simple features, it could make it a whole lot better. One of those examples would be that in the practice mode, you should be able to select every character so that you can try out their movesets and see if you actually like them. Because let's say this, right? You're completely new to Guilty Gear. You've just bought the game. You watched the story and you thought, hey, Happy Chaos, he's really fucking cool. So you go and look at the DLC characters and you're like, okay, Happy Chaos exists as DLC. I'll pick him up and I'll play him because he's really cool and I liked him in the story. Happy Chaos is one of the hardest characters to play in the whole game. Like, Happy Chaos is really difficult. He has some very intricate moves. He has not one, but 2 gauges that you have to keep track of. And he's overall just a very funky character to play. But if they instead just added into the practice mode that we could use every single character, will take away from the whole, oh shit, I bought this character, but actually, I can't play them. Because you could just play them in practice mode. You could just hop into practice mode, pick that character that you want to try out, try that character. If you like them, you can buy them. If you don't like them, you don't have to buy them. And some of you guys might be saying, oh, but wouldn't that drop ArcSys sales? Not necessarily. Because, like, yes, you would have informed buyers. One of the problems in capitalism with informed buyers is that they know what they're getting. And if what they're getting isn't what they want, they're not gonna buy it, right? Like, if you want a knife, you're not gonna buy a fork. Because a fork and a knife do two different things, but they're both kitchen utensils. But so, if they actually add the possibility to use all characters in practice mode, that would give players the ability to try out the characters, and if they don't like a character, they just won't buy it. But it also adds the possibility for makes players who maybe originally weren't thinking about buying the character actually want to buy the character because they try the character and were like, wow, this character really fits my playstyle, or this character has a playstyle that I really want to try, or something like that. For example, I really want to try out Jacko. I think Jacko looks really cool. I think her playstyle could be quite cool, and I think she's an overall interesting character with her little minions. However, I'm not going to spend the money to buy Jacko's DLC or the overall DLC pack, because in the pack I don't want any of the other characters really, except for Happy Chaos, who I already have. I bought him separately on a sale. And I won't buy just Jacko because I know her playstyle is really funky, and I don't know if I'll run with that playstyle. Like, currently I play Elfelt and I'm trying to learn Eno, and she is neither of those. Like, Jacko is completely different from both Elfelt and Eno, and she's not really similar to anyone that I've thought about playing, like, in any way. But I can't just try her out, because there is no such thing in-game. I can't just, like, oh, maybe Jacko would actually be a cool character. Hop into practice mode and test Jacko out, and then that would give you the possibility to say, actually, she's really good, and this justifies me spending the money on her DLC. Because currently I can't justify spending the money on her DLC. Because I don't know if I'll like her. She's so weird that I don't know if I'll be able to play her effectively. I don't know if I'll even remotely think she's like a comfy character to play, even if I can't dish out as high damage as with other characters. Maybe she's really comfy and fun to play. But I don't know, because currently I'm too scared of buying her, because I could just waste money and have a DLC character that I'm never gonna play. I mean, I vaguely stated this earlier. I'm a high school dude. I don't really have a lot of money. Like that's not really something that comes with high school, having a lot of money. I have to, spend my money on other things. There are other wiser purchases, or purchases that are within hobbies that I already know I like, that I can make. For example, I really like playing guitar and bass. And so a more justified purchase would be a certain pedal that I know I'll use. For example, currently I'm looking to buy a compressor, because I don't have one, and a compressor can be very good to have. But with a character in Guilty Gear, I can't really justify spending that, because, again, I already have 3 characters that I either can play or I want to learn how to play. 2 of them I bought. I bought Happy Chaos and I bought Elfelt. Both of them during a Steam sale that they were on sale on. But still, I bought them. I spent money on them. And I found out after I bought Happy Chaos, because I bought him around the time when I bought the game, that he's a really hard character to play. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to learn how to play Chaos. Because Chaos is a really hard character, and he's a really weird character too. And there's one thing that I've realized throughout my time testing out the free-to-play characters, is that I'm not good at managing gauges. That's why I want to learn how to play Eno, because Eno has some funky shit with her high-low mix-ups and dashes that actually just straight up make her fly, so that a lot of her attacks are just automatically jump attacks. And you know what Ino does, right? Like, it's some interesting shit. So like, she's a very interesting character, and I prefer to play slightly weird characters. I don't really like the super cookie cutter characters. It's like, I'm probably never gonna pick up Kai or Soul Bad Guy, because they're like pretty straightforward. They're pretty simple. Not basic, but like simple. But Ino is very different from that. And I know I say I play Elfelt, and I do play Elfelt, and she is both a simple and basic character. Like, bro, her weirdest attack is probably her Wild Assault, and every fucking character has a Wild Assault. But still, she has Rekka combos, which is not something that a lot of characters have. And the chain Rekkas make her a more interesting character, at least for me. And as I said, I'm trying to learn Ino, who I think is an even more interesting character. But I don't know if I'll ever be able to learn how to play Happy Chaos, because he's just such a hard character. You know, there are some other characters that I want to pick up when they come as DLC. But what if they have a weird moveset? I'm gonna be in the same place that I am right now with Jacko. I don't know if I'd like to play them. Like, for example, I am a pretty big fan of Jam. I think Jam is a really cool character from the last game. So I really want her to release as DLC. I hope she releases within the next season. Even though, all of us already know that DC is going to be first, but I hope Jam comes, within the season at some point. And if this and Jam aren't the same, I might even just buy the whole thing, because, I mean, that's two characters that I quite like, plus two other characters. But maybe Jam has some weird mechanics that I am kind of opposed to, because of the characters that I've learned previously. And therefore I might not actually want to play Jam without trying her out. But there is no way for me to try her out. And I think that really makes it hard. I think that makes the decision making of the buyers harder. Because like, I'm sitting on some money that could go to ArcSys, but I'm afraid that I won't like the characters, so it's not going to ArcSys. And like, sure, it might lose them a bit of money, but it's definitely going to gain them money as well. And I think that's what they don't realize. I think they're trying to maximize profit by having uninformed buyers, when really, having informed buyers can bring more profit. But what do I know? I'm a high school boy walking his dog out in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Yeah, that was it for this yap sesh. I've been talking for 29 minutes now. Don't know how I'm gonna cut this shit up. I don't even know how I'm gonna get this shit to my PC, because my Google Drive is full, but we'll see. This was a way rantier video than what's usually posted here. Most of this stuff is just shit posts, so don't go expecting more rants about other companies. Unless this is received very well, then I might make another one when I'm walking my dog the next time. But for now, this won't become a regular thing. Why the fuck is there a scooter there? That's all for me, folks. Have a good one.